Hey guys, it's Miss Estacio here to talk to you about how to evaluate sources. Like I said in the assignment, next week we are starting research papers, and you will have to be doing your research on the internet since we don't have access to libraries. So it's really important for you guys to learn how to tell if a source is something you should use or you shouldn't use. So we'll start out talking about some types of sources. Sources could be books, like autobiographies or biographies, which are about people, newspaper articles, speeches, encyclopedias, magazine articles, scientific reports, graphs, interviews, diaries, memoirs, journals, videos, textbooks, historical documents, photos, poems, short stories, and websites. As you can see, there are a lot of different kinds. You might ask, are some sources better to use than others? So I'll start with a true-false question. Should you believe everything you read on the internet? Most of you guys already know that you should not. True or false, some sources are more solid than others. If you said true, you're right. So what kind of sources do you think are more credible than others? Primary sources or secondary sources? This is a trick question because both can be credible. A secondary source can be just as reliable as a primary source, but you have to generally use a little bit more thought to figure it out. Now you're probably wondering, what are primary and secondary sources? How can they both be credible? What sources shouldn't I use? So my goal is to try to help you figure those things out. We'll start with primary sources. Primary sources are historical documents and sources that are written by somebody who was actually there. Just because something is historical does not mean it's a primary source. A source is only primary if it was created by a witness, which is somebody who was actually there or was actually involved, or it was written around the time period of the events. So what are primary sources? You have to ask, did the author see it firsthand? Some examples are journals, speeches, photos, letters, autobiographies, and diaries. And there's more too. Now, since primary sources are people who were there, secondary sources are people who did not see the events, but they wrote about them afterwards. Authors of secondary sources usually get their information from primary sources, either by talking to somebody who was there or reading what somebody said who was actually there. Some examples: textbooks, biographies, encyclopedias, newspaper articles, magazine articles. What do you think about scientific reports, interviews, or websites? Could some sources be primary or secondary? Do you think a biography could be a primary source? These are questions I want you guys to be thinking about. And the main question is, was the author a witness? If they saw it happen, it's primary. If they didn't, it's a secondary source. Another thing that can help you tell the difference between primary and secondary sources is the point of view the story is told from, or the source is written from. In a primary source, the point of view is usually first person with I's, me's, and my's. In the secondary source, the point of view is mainly third person objective. That's when you have he, she, and they, and objective is when we don't get to see inside the thoughts of the other people, because if I'm a newspaper writer writing about something, I don't know what people were thinking unless I asked them. But I would have to tell in my article, Susie Jones said that she felt this way. Internet sources and websites could be either primary or secondary depending on whether or not the author was actually there. So what's most important when you guys are looking things up on the internet is credibility. How accurate or truthful and reliable is the information that you're finding? So you're going to ask, how do I tell? Mrs. Stasio, how do I know if a source is credible? You have 3 questions you need to ask. What's the ending? Is it .com, .org, .edu, .gov, or something else? Which are the most reliable? It's usually .edu and .gov, but there are some .com and .org sites that are helpful. When we are working on our projects, I will be giving you a list of websites. Anything I give you, you can trust is credible. Anything you find on your own, I might ask you how you know it's true. Another question to ask is, who's the author? If you can't find the author on the page anywhere, that's a red flag automatically. Always go back and check at the main page of the website, see if you can find it. Why do you think you'd want to find the author? You want to find them to see about them and see if they actually even know what they're talking about. If I'm reading an article about a famous baseball player, I don't want to be looking at something that was a school project by a 4th grader. I want to find people who actually know what they're talking about. The last question is, when was it published or updated? This info you usually find on the bottom of the page. Sometimes it's right underneath the title. And this gets a little complicated when you're doing research, because you sometimes have to ask, how old is too old? Usually you want to keep your resources very recent, within 5 years. But for a research project where we're talking about things from history or the past, it's okay to use sources that are a little older, because history doesn't really change. Sometimes we find new information about the past, but the main events don't really change. So it's okay to use sources that are a little older if you're talking about historical figures or things that happened in the past. Generally speaking, you want to know that you're looking at something that's truthful. So here's a website or a video I want you guys to go check out after you're finished with this one and watch. It should work. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments on the assignment. More specific tips. We're going to use an acronym to help us know to judge an internet source. And our acronym is CRAAP. Focus less on what it spells out and more about what we're going to learn. The C stands for currency. How recently was the website published or updated? Like we said, generally, more current is better. More recent, we want it to be now. Relevance. Does the website actually support your assignment? If I'm asking you about a habitat and you find a website that's about how to train an animal, that's not relevant. That doesn't actually support what you need to learn. Authority. Who's the author and are they an expert? Look them up and find out. The second A is accuracy. Make sure the information is true. If you can find it on more than one website that all look and follow these different tips, then it's probably true. Especially check out if the website has a works cited page, because then you can read the articles where they found their information, and then you can see if they used good sources too. And last but not least, the purpose. Why was the website made? Is there a bias? Does the person who made the website want you to believe a certain thing? This one's sometimes harder to find out and is something you guys will have to just learn as you go through life, because you will need to be looking at these kinds of things all through middle school and high school and into college. So I've got 2 more short videos you guys can watch when you're done. I've linked the PowerPoint where you can click the links in the Google form. Some of these are pretty goofy, some of them are kind of boring. If you don't watch them, you don't watch them, but it could just be somebody else trying to help you understand what we're talking about. So, what are 3 things you want to Google about a website to check for credibility? I've got one more video for you. This link automatically goes to the 4 minutes and 2 second mark, and you can watch for about 2 minutes. You don't need to watch the whole video, just this clip. And you'll find that the 3 things are the author, who wrote it, and the article, what people are saying about it. Here's some more helpful links you can check out if you want. And here is the works cited for this presentation. Because I did not make this, I tweaked it and changed it a little bit for you guys, and I obviously recorded this. But I used other people's work, and so I need to show you where I got it. I miss you all, and I hope you are doing well. Bye.